I keep hearing this same erroneous talking point being spread by many big influential YouTubers and content creators and people out there that think they're speaking the truth, or at least deceive their audiences into believing that they're speaking the truth, but they're really not. And I'm going to educate you all on what that is, or what that talking point is, and that false idea that these companies are trying to make money. I am sick and tired of hearing this stupid, idiotic, nonsensical talking point repeated over and over and over by these people like Tim Pool and The Quartering and all these other people. And the reason why I highlight them is because they're very good people. They're good guys that for the most part have positive messages, and they're trying to help the world in their own way. However, they don't always speak the truth or the full truth, and they come up with this idiotic, retarded idea that these companies, because they're catering to psychopaths, that means they're trying to grow their companies, or they're trying to make money in a different way, gain a new audience, yada yada yada. The same bullshit talking points, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys what the real truth is, and what the real truth is these companies, they have infinite money. What do I mean by infinite money? Well, they're controlled by demons or aliens, whatever you want to fucking call them. I don't care. You can. It's a semantic argument at that point. But that's who's controlling the world. When you see that, and then you see that they're also controlling the governments and all the corporations and companies, right? And they're the ones handing down the marching orders and telling these companies how to do things. Then you start to see what's really happening. Now, if you run the world and you control the world and you control the countries and all the companies, what does that mean? You control all the money. You control how much money is printed. You control how much money each country has. You control how much money each company has and makes. And when you have made as much money as these companies have made, even if you exclude what I just said about the control that these demons have over the world, let's just take that out of the picture for a second, right? Even though that's the main thing that's happening. But let's just put that aside, right? These companies on their own, let's say they were legitimate companies, right? They've made so much damn money that they don't really need money anymore. And they know that if they do something controversial to piss off their customers or fans, they can always find a way to rope them back in and put out some bullshit that they know their fans are going to like. Some nostalgic shit, right? Like, oh, remember berries, remember this, remember that, remember Mickey Mouse, remember the Little Mermaid, remember this, then that. They'll put out some bullshit and they'll immediately correct course when they realize or they feel that their company's being threatened and they're actually under some real pressure, right? When they get enough pushback. So that's the basic human way of looking at it, right? If you just want to look at it that way, my point still stands. And what I mean is, they have so much money that they can fuck around and do bullshit that people don't like and piss people off, because these people are sick and demented. They don't have anything better to do than to piss off their customers, right? So they can make you, or not make you, but they can show you things that you don't like and then try to make you like it, or try to force you to watch something that you wouldn't watch, or desecrate one of your favorite Disney stories like The Little Mermaid by putting in somebody that doesn't represent the original character, right? The original star of that movie, the original focus. They'll, color switch her to something else. And now people are like, well, what is this? This isn't what I grew up with. This isn't what I remember. And that's just one example. They do this with all types of things. Disney controls Marvel, right? So they're putting all types of woke trash in Marvel and blah, blah, blah. You guys get the point. But to sum it up, what I'm trying to say is, if you just go by the human point, they have enough money to throw away that if they feel, and this is the thing you guys need to understand, the people that financially advise these companies or run their budgets or whatever, they plan all of this shit, right? They know if they're going to lose money or not. You think they made all that money and they have all these people working for them and they don't know when they're going to lose money or not? They don't know how people are going to react to the shit they put out there when it's been happening for 10 years. People see the backlash consistently. They're consistently being told that people don't want this shit. And you think they don't know that they're going to get backlash and people are going to boycott and not watch their shit? You think they don't know this shit? They know. They don't care. Why don't they care? Because they're about destroying and desecrating what you love. That's all these companies are doing now. That's all they're doing. Why are they doing that? This is where you have to bring in the demons and the aliens. The demons and the aliens take pleasure in making humans feel like shit. Why? Because they eat negative energy. So the negative energy that you give off feeds the demons. It's like a drug to them. So they want to see you suffering. They want to see you miserable. They want to see you hating things. They want to see you angry and upset and sad. That's why there's so much death and destruction and chaos in the world. Because the demons are controlling the world and they're orchestrating it and creating it. Purposely. This isn't an accident. None of this shit going on in the world is an accident. It's all planned. It's all being carried out and pushed down by these fucking demons. But you people think it's humans doing this shit. Humans are mostly peaceful pacifists if left alone. Mostly. Not all the time, but mostly. Even if you go back in history, because I hear people saying, oh, well, the natives used to do all these sacrifices. You know where they got that from? Aliens. From demons. They got it from aliens and demons. That's where they got these ideas to sacrifice to the gods. You think they just conjured up some gods in their minds? No, they didn't. There were aliens and demons that came down, talked to these natives, and told these natives, you do this or we'll kill your village. And again, the act of sacrificing your child, it's such a rush and a drug addiction for these demons that they get off on it. They literally get off on it. So they force these, ancient tribes or primitive tribes that didn't know any better, that was scared to death of these demons. They were like, hey, these gods, quote unquote, or demons, we have to do what they say or we're fucked. That's where all these rituals and shit came from. So those people would have lived peacefully and not done all that crazy shit had they not been coerced or forced by these demons. And it's also the same with, you'll see tribes nowadays where they have all these piercings and these weird things on their body and tattoos and shit. Where do you think they got that from? You think they got that from, I don't know, their minds? No. These people can't think of or imagine anything. They don't have a thought in their head. They just want to live their lives. But they were told, or, throughout their history, their existence, their ancestors, these traditions were passed down from the supposed gods. That's where all these religions came from aliens and demons. That's where all this shit came from. That's what you guys need to understand. That's why people will be like, well, why are these companies doing this? I don't understand. Because you're thinking like a human. As long as you keep thinking like a primitive human and you can't go beyond, or you can't fathom that there's more going on than what meets the eye, you're never going to see the truth. So again, you have influencers like Tim Pool and the Quartering who are very popular, but they don't want to go beyond humanity. They just want to talk about regular human shit. And then they're like, oh, yeah, well, these companies are woke and they're just trying to pander to this community and they're trying to make more money doing this and blah, blah. I'm like, no, that's not what's happening. This is a purposeful attack against humanity. That's what is really happening. Humans are being attacked consistently. Everything that humans love and care about is being destroyed. So they, throughout, the 90s or 80s or whatever, since Disney was out, since Disney's been out for a long time, longer than that. But, I mean, they've been grooming people into falling in love with these movies, right? And that was part of the plan. Part of the plan was to get you to love these movies and enjoy them and really fall in love with the characters and have a connection, a strong connection, so that in the future, because they can plan the future, none of this shit is a coincidence. So people are like, well, how did South Park predict that this was going to happen? And how does The Simpsons? It's not a prediction. It's not, they're not prophecies. They're planned out and then they execute. That's it. They show you a little teaser in these cartoons and shows and then they do it. So they plan this shit out. They plan to make you fall in love with these characters and then they destroy them. Why? Because you have an emotional attachment to these characters. Therefore, when you see your characters being desecrated and dismantled in front of you, what does that do? It's traumatic for you. Even if you consciously think, oh, I'm a big person and this doesn't affect me. I don't care. It's just a movie. Yeah, right. You know deep down it hurts you, it bothers you. And that energy that you release when you feel that pain, that anger, that frustration, that sadness, when you release that, these aliens eat that. And they get high off of it. And they get off on it. They enjoy it. Not to mention they're watching everybody in the world because they have the technology to watch everyone. There are no private thoughts. So if you think you have a private thought, you don't. These aliens can read your mind. They can see everything. They can do everything. So they know they control the whole world. They see everything that's happening. So they're watching you suffer and they're enjoying it. They're laughing it up. They're yucking it up while you guys continue to fall for their bullshit. That's the truth. So again, when you have infinite money, you can print money when you want. They don't care about making money. They can lose all the fucking money. It doesn't matter. They can make it right back. They control the whole fucking world. They can destroy a company like Bud Light, right? Or Target. Or whatever you want to boycott. You can boycott whatever the fuck you want. Never buy another product from that company. Guess what? They have another company they control called Walmart. They have another company they control called Budweiser or another beer that they can sell you. They run all of these companies. So I see people saying, well, Bud Light is losing stock money and they're losing money in the stock market, but these other companies are going up. Guess what? They control those other companies too. So they're not losing any fucking money at all because all you're doing is going from one of their companies that they're purposely destroying just to see you get mad. That's all they're doing. They're just pissing in your face and enjoying it. So they're making you mad, making you think you're doing something. All in the meantime, you're spending your money on another beer. And guess what? You're still supporting their system. You're still supporting them because they control those beers too. They control the whole fucking world. You people need to realize what the fuck is happening. Your little boycotts and your little protests, they ain't doing shit because you don't realize who's doing what. You don't know who's controlling what. You think all this shit is separate. You think this company's separate from that company. No, they're all connected. They're all the same. They all work together. That's why they all push the same fucking agendas. Because the demons are the ones making them do it. They're controlling them. So all this shit is coming from them. From the alien demons, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't care. Believe what the fuck you want. I'm just telling you what's happening. All right? These companies, these governments, they're all controlled by the same evil entities, okay? That's all you need to know. And as long as you know that, then everything else starts to make sense. Then you can see why this is happening, why that's happening, yada, 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 right? Like, why is this agenda being pushed here? Why are these companies doing this? Because it doesn't matter. They're having fun with you. They're playing with you humans. And you humans are falling for the shit. So I'm here to try to tell you guys what's happening so you can see the same thing I see. Because I see the whole fucking picture. It's clear as day. But you guys don't see it. You guys are blind as fuck. So I'm trying to wake you the fuck up. And I'm not talking to, the people that have been watching me for a while or the people that understand me. If you understand me, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones that will come here, have never watched me before, don't know what I'm talking about, and will see this for the first time. This will be the first video watching me, right? You don't know a goddamn thing about what's happening in the world. Well, now you do. Now you fucking do, all right? Now, I suggest you go watch all my other content so you could catch up on everything, but I'm just telling you what the truth is. And then another thing, I didn't really keep up with this story, but I'll touch on it a little bit. Apparently, there was a submarine or something where these people went to go see the Titanic, right? I'm sure you guys have heard about that story, right? It was the Titan, right? There was a submarine called the Titan. These people, private citizens, I guess. I don't really know. I didn't really read the story. I thought it was stupid. But regardless, these people wanted to go down to see the Titan or the Titanic. And they called their submarine the Titan or whatever. And the person that was in charge of this operation, the CEO, whatever, whoever this person was that was controlling the whole situation, they were being told consistently that this was a bad idea and they shouldn't do this. Yet, they psychotically decided to go through with this expedition, which led to their demise, their end, and whoever was with them. So all these people died listening to somebody who was suicidal. Now, why am I talking about this? Because all these CEOs, all these people, all these humans that run these companies, they don't give a fuck. They're suicidal, they're psychotic, they're crazy. The evil ones that control the world, you know how they think, the demons? If they can't have the world and rule it, they'll kill everyone and they'll kill themselves. They're psychotic and suicidal. That's who's running the world. That's who's controlling these companies. So when you see like these companies tanking and losing money, they don't give a fuck. So you have these human stooges out there who are being mind controlled, MK Ultra, by these demons, and they're going out there and they're like the guy that runs Bud Light, the CEO for Bud Light, right? He's out here telling people to feel sorry for the workers when it's his fault and the company's fault that their shit is tanking, that their stock is tanking, that the company is failing. Because they wanted to push Dylan Mulvaney onto people, and people don't want to see that shit, right? So they want to push things that people don't want to see, and then they want you to feel sorry for them. Feel sorry for our workers. Feel sorry for our mistakes. You made the mistake, you fix it, CEO. And this guy was apparently a spy that worked for the CIA. He's a veteran or some shit. From another veteran to him, he's a piece of shit, and fuck him. That's how I feel about that CEO for Bud Light. I don't even know what his name is. I don't care. He's a piece of shit. And he can't take responsibility for what happened. I don't know if he's been released from his position or not. Apparently, I heard they want to get rid of this guy. But whatever the case is, somebody that worked for the CIA and he used to be a spy. Yeah, he's a real trustworthy person. But he doesn't give a fuck about his company. He's just a stooge that's being put out there for the world to see as a sacrificial lamb. The person that's taking the blame for everything that's happening with his company. But he's crazy and he doesn't care. So he has the audacity to blame the customers for not buying the product that he smeared with his garbage. Him and his company smeared with their garbage. And they don't want to take any responsibility. They want to put it on the customers. It's never the customer's responsibility to take ownership for the mistakes that the company made. Because the customers can always go to another company and buy another product. Even though, like I explained earlier, you're not really doing shit because you're still supporting the system overall, which they control, right? So these demons and these CEOs, these humans that are controlled by these demons, they don't care. They're suicidal, crazy people. That's why this guy that went down with the Titanic, or down to see the Titanic, the CEO, whatever, when I was listening to people talk about this story, and they were telling this guy he shouldn't do this, and he's like, I'm going to do it anyways. And he, well, I don't even know if he really died or not, because I can't believe any of this drama shit that they put on the news anymore. I think it's all made up garbage. But regardless, let's say the story is true and he went down there and died with the people that he died with. Well, the motherfucker was suicidal then. He didn't give a fuck about his life. What kind of person is that? He's a CEO of a company. He's that crazy that he's not going to listen to reason. But then again, that's, like I said, that's how these demons operate, and they instill these crazy thoughts and ways of thinking into the people that run their companies. That's why they have these stooges there, because those people are perfect to run their companies the way they want, because they know they can throw these people away anytime they want and use them for their purposes, and these people will do what they want. Not to mention they can mind control them and force them to do it anyways. So either way, it doesn't matter how you want to look at it. The end result is the same, right? So the last thing I'm going to say is, I don't understand why these companies are allowed to exist and these governments in the manner in which they exist, where they don't really care about the people. All they care about is themselves making money, and they don't give a fuck about you. So I hear people say, oh, it's my private company, it's a free enterprise, capitalism, yada, 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 right? However, I believe that there comes a point where people need to put their foot down and say, these governments and these companies are out of control. They're not serving the people. Why do I keep seeing in the news these companies are doing these evil things? These governments, these people that work in government are doing evil things that people know are wrong and corrupt. Yet they're allowed to still be there and exist? What kind of system, what kind of government, what kind of country, what kind of world do we live in where this shit continues to happen? Where people can blatantly see that this is wrong, and yet all we're doing is waving our fingers, wagging our fingers, saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, this is wrong. How about we get rid of these motherfuckers? Why are they allowed to be there? Why are people still voting for these people? Why are people still paying these companies money to take advantage of them? Why are you people supporting this shit? I don't care if it's capitalism, communism. I don't care. The whole world is controlled by the same motherfuckers. It doesn't matter what country you live in. You're supporting a system or systems that don't serve you. They serve a structure. They serve a way of being. You need to have communist countries and capitalist countries and all these companies that are in supposed competition with each other to give you the illusion that the world is not all black and white, that there's some gray, right? That there's some nuance to what's happening. So you guys can be fooled and tricked into believing, oh, there's actually some diversity in this world. There's actually different things and we can compare the good and the bad. No, it's all an illusion. They're all controlled by the same shit and it's all put there for a show to make you think that they're all different, that they're all separate and not working together when they are. And the goal of these companies and countries is to fuck over their people. That's all they're there for. They're not there to serve you or to help you or to do anything for you. No. What do the governments do for you? They control you, and then they tell you to go die for them so that they can go fight some other country that you have no business fighting. That's all these countries do. That's all these governments do. And these companies, what do? They push bullshit on you, and if you don't like it, they try to blame you and say it's your fault that you don't want to buy their garbage because they're pushing bullshit on you. Woke shit that you don't want to see. Shit you don't care about. But anyways, I think I said enough. I think you guys get the point. I'm tired of hearing this shit. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm tired of hearing this shit about they're trying to make money. This isn't about money. And I'm going to keep talking about this shit until people get it. None of this shit is about money. It's about evil. It's about destroying humanity, desecrating humanity, inverting humanity, hurting humans as much as possible. And there's more than one way to hurt people. You don't have to just physically hurt them. You don't have to always kill someone or stab someone or do something physical to them. You can hurt them emotionally, spiritually. There's different ways to hurt humans. And what they're doing with these companies and movies, like what Disney's doing with movies and Marvel and all this other shit, and video games and all this other stuff that they're doing to you, is to hurt your soul. It's to fuck you up so that you feel like shit, and then they feed off of your energy. If you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can, hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.